Lindsay Moore, welcome to the Balancing Act. How are you?
What's up? I am wonderful. How are you?
I'm awesome.
Can
Um,
you hear me okay?
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Sound great. Um, First of all, I wanted to thank you for being such a supporter of my platform and my channel. Um, one of the original visions I had from all the way back, before you started listening, was to get people like more of a participatory platform than people just listening, I've had a
Hmm.
few episodes where I've had listeners on, but these are actually my favorite ones because it's actually the genuine aspect of creating the community in action in real time. So I just want to thank you for that and all the support that you've given, whether it be social media, YouTube, Instagram, whatever. Um, I just wanted to say thank you first and foremost, but then I wanted to ask I guess I'm assuming you found me through Realize Radio, Human Vibrations
Realize
platform.
radio, yep. Yep.
Was like one of the episodes, was it when I was on her Realize Radio that you
Well, you messaged me first. I don't think like you were I don't think I had ever seen your podcast or anything. I probably had seen you in Discord and yeah, you just messaged me one time and said what's up and I liked what you said and I don't really remember, but yeah, that's the first time I remember talking to you. And then I was like, oh, cool. And I watched your podcast. Oh, you were reading the that Toltec book, and that's so good. And um yeah, that's when I first remember like meeting you, for lack of a better word.
the
Because
virtual
this
the
is like, I
virtual
guess this is
meeting?
the first time we've really talked,
Yeah.
like, you know.
Yeah, yeah, more so than just text over a screen, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It was funny
Yeah, for
because when I
sure.
asked, I said, "What did you want to talk about?" And you said, "Whatever you want. I always like your stuff, love and the Toltecs and all of that." And I was like, "Damn, what a
Yeah,
perfect
yeah.
answer."
I mean, like when I listen to your stuff, like you and that other guy that you're usually with, I'm always like, yeah, yeah, I love that. I agree with that, like, yeah,
I
it's all, you know,
would you
the stuff
agree
I
that
like too.
I appreciate that. So I've been like my self-love has been through the roof lately, so I'm doing my best to not sound narcissistic or egotistical or whatever negative connotation people want to put on self-love. Um, but like I just cannot for the life of me understand why my channel doesn't have like 50,000 subscribers. And
Oh, I know. I know that is, well, you're definitely shadow banned,
without a
Every
doubt.
time I try to look up the balancing act, like it does not come up. Other
Yeah.
stuff comes up, and I follow you and I watch your videos. It should come up immediately. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
I
So
am
it's
I am
just,
clearly a danger to the de facto
yeah,
bullshit
you
system.
really should, you should feel good that, they're watching you and they're not wanting you to get your message out because it's important, you know?
Yeah, I 1,000% agree with everything that you just said, but to try to like I guess be more like mainstream about it, I was thinking maybe one of the reasons that it hasn't is because a lot of these alternate like even the platforms on the alternative side of, opposite of mainstream, so to speak, the ones that tend to grow have focused on some like COVID, right? Or
Oh.
law, or like it's always this like specific discipline or specific
Mm-hmm.
topic. And
Mm-hmm.
those channels, even if they're super, alternative when it comes to health or money or law or whatever it may be, all of these channels that get huge are focused on one thing. And I'm just like all over the fucking place. So I'm like, maybe that has something to do with it. But
Hmm.
I think shadow banning probably has a lot more to do with it.
I mean, absolutely it does, I mean, how else are people going to find you? Even when they're looking for you, they can't find you?
Right, right.
So, I mean, I'm sure
Facts.
that is disappointing. And I know when I first started talking to you, you said something about like you didn't even know if you would keep doing your podcast.
Yeah,
And
it's
I'm glad that you
frustrating.
have. Yeah,
It's
absolutely. I'm sure
frustrating
it is.
because of again the lack of eyeballs and ears to get to it, first of all.
Hmm.
Um, but what keeps me going is like I love it.
Right. There you go.
I do it for me first, but then it's
There you
like
go.
at the same time there's that part of me that's like, this is fucking dope. How is it not? How are more
I
people not
know.
catching it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
It's
know. Where's the tribe?
yeah, for real, for real.
Yeah, yep, yep. I know what you mean. Yep, I get it.
So
I'm sure
one
that is frustrating for you.
it can be, but again, like I'm so solid and like like I said, my self-love has gotten to the point where it's like it's almost a little bit
That's
like
good.
it is. It's awesome. It's awesome because nobody else's judgment, even like sometimes people make judgments, they don't even realize they're making a judgment. You know what I'm saying? It's like automatic in them and they're not being like a consciously negative person, but it's just like embedded in them. And it's like, I don't know if it's jealousy or what, but like, I just don't give a fuck anymore. I just, there's always the part of me that's questioning myself, but that's why I love myself so much. And that's kind of the balancing act. I've gotten more and more balanced and I don't believe in killing the ego. I believe in a balanced ego. I know how to humble
Mm.
myself
Yeah,
and
I've heard about that. Yeah. Yeah, some people, a lot of things you say, your ego's bad, but yeah, I've heard good things about the ego. And yeah, like balance is very important for
a,
sure.
a
Duality,
million percent, million
yin and
percent.
yang.
So yeah,
Yep.
actually, before I talk more about myself, I actually wanted to get you on to tell your story. You know,
Oh,
yeah, where did you grow up? Were your parents Christian, religious?
oh,
Were they
wow.
the ones that pushed you toward um, a revolutionary way of thinking, for a lack of a better term, or yeah, just all of that?
I mean, somewhat, I guess. I feel like my parents were kind of, I wouldn't say conspiracy theorists, but they like my dad,
They didn't
he
buy into the bullshit quite so easily.
yeah, that don't tread on me flag.
Yeah.
That my dad always, oh, should I
I live
smoke
in
too?
Virginia. Well, this is actually I'm on a tolerance break, so this is a shaman blend from Nepal.
Whoa,
Yeah.
shaman blend. Yeah, I want to hear all about your Ryan Sprague stuff. But anyways, yeah, my dad, he flew his don't tread on me flag and he listened to Alex Jones on the radio. And and I wish he actually passed away in 2014, so I can't talk to him about any of that stuff. But I just remember, he listened to that on the radio. He liked Rush Limbaugh, just stuff like that. And he always said he was born in a different time, or he was born in the wrong time. That's what he used to say. He wished he was born in a different time because just the rat race of our society is just wrong. Um, and my parents were anti-vaxxers, so I'm like actually I'm third generation anti-vaxxer. And so that is, I guess, I did get ideas from my parents. But they were Christian, they are Christian. And yeah, I was raised in the church, but it was a Methodist church, so it's pretty not a crazy church. It was just, you go to church and sing some songs and give some money and then you go out to eat afterwards kind of thing. You know what I
Methodists
mean?
are pretty liberal as far as Christians go, I believe.
Yeah, yeah, they recently voted to let gay people like be in their like
Yeah.
in,
It wasn't even that recently, actually. It was like 5 years ago now, 6 years ago.
oh really? Hmm. Um yeah, so yeah, they're pretty liberal, but well my mom actually she didn't like it because she I don't know. She's a more conservative Christian, I guess. So yeah, now that I'm an adult, I don't see eye to eye with her so much on a lot of things. But yeah, raised in the church and it didn't I tried to follow the rules. I did, but it just didn't make a lot of sense, like
When did you stop going to
burning in
church?
hell and all that stuff, only having one life and um like the little girl in China that does not get exposed to Christianity. Like my mom seriously believes that she will go to hell. And it's like, what's wrong with you that you think that, like that? Like, I mean, obviously she's just, indoctrinated, brainwashed, but anyways,
The
so
brainwashing is definitely on both sides of the mainstream bullshit political spectrum for sure. Like
yeah,
I
yeah,
know
for sure,
throughout
yeah.
COVID it was very popular for people in our truth community, conspiracy community, whatever you want to fucking call it, to bash, the leftists, but it's like If y'all think Trump's better, y'all are smoking crack.
I mean, yeah, just yeah, politics. I don't know how anybody can take that stuff seriously, but
Yeah, for real. Well, again, yeah, exactly. It's all fake anyway. So Trump is a character anyway, right? So
yes, how can people not see that?
yeah,
Like
for sure.
what?
So it does sound like Alex Jones and Rush Limbaugh. It sounds like he was a little bit more on the right hand side of the political discourse, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, yeah, probably.
Um,
Yeah, I don't know. He passed away,
did they smoke?
so
I know
can't
you're.
talk to him about that stuff. What's that?
Did they smoke? I know you're an advocate of
They did
cannabis.
not. They did not.
Okay.
No, my sister always said my dad was a closet cigarette smoker. Like she always said that, and she would always say that she would find cigarettes in his car, but she was the only one that ever found them. So I really wonder how true it was, but I don't know. He did smoke. He did smoke when I was younger, but yeah, no weed as far as I know. One time, I know that my parents know what it smells like. My mom would say like, "Oh, I was at a party where they had it before," kind of thing. But yeah, no, they were not drinkers or smokers at all.
So how did you get into cannabis?
Just my sister and my friend, they smoked and then I smoked too and couldn't give it up. You know?
Do you believe it's the healing of the nation?
What's that?
Do you believe it's the healing of the nation?
The healing of the nation. Wow,
And not even just the nation, of all nations, in my opinion.
I've
It is.
never really thought of that before, but yeah, that thing about you get a bunch of people in a room and you give them alcohol and they're all fighting. But if you get a bunch of people in a room and give them weed, then they're all just having a good time and, being friends, you know? So, yeah, definitely if we would all just smoke together and get over all of our, just get along. Yeah, it definitely would save the world for sure.
I mean,
That would be pretty
as
awesome.
someone who's a very, like, I would say cannabis, the Toltec worldview, and then a documentary called Kymatica, which is pretty much in line with the Toltec worldview and
Hmm.
cannabis usage, would be like the cornerstones or the centerpieces of this platform. And I'm very happy that cannabis has made a resurgence across the world, especially when it comes to like medicinally, and people are recognizing that it's not bad for you physically. Even its addiction is not physical, it's psychological.
Mm,
Um,
for
where
sure.
I'm trying to push it is like the spiritual, and the metaphysical, I guess you would say, and all of these things that mainstream physics science doesn't even talk about because they don't factor in consciousness into their model. Um,
Mhm. Yeah.
I believe, and you asked if for me to go on the Ryan Sprague a little bit, like the fact that we have an endocannabinoid system in our body and that there are receptors and molecules in cannabis that fit these receptor sites exactly like a key in a lock, that's pretty much to me proof that we have co-evolved with this plant.
Mm,
And
yeah.
outside of like its consumption, this plant can be grown for clothing,
I know.
fiberglass,
So many uses. I know. Why don't
textile.
they could make a car out of it,
Yeah,
like
they did.
the most useful plant they made illegal, of course.
Yeah, I
And
actually
that's
think,
why, because it's such a gift.
yeah,
They couldn't let us have it.
yeah. Ah, man. What would you say that you've had epiphanies or just like life-changing moments under the influence of
Um,
cannabis?
I would say, sadly, my cannabis usage is more for like watching TikTok and eating junk food. You know what I mean? Just enjoying everyday life. I would not say I've had epiphanies or, no, not really. I feel like it kind of dumbs me down, honestly. But uh yeah, no. I wish I have.
So that actually factors into something that Ryan talks about a lot is intention, like the intention
Mm,
behind smoking. That's part of the reason why I'm taking a tolerance break and smoking these like smoking blends from it's a website called Shaman's Garden. And there's different shamans all over the world that make different smoking blends that aren't necessarily Like that you don't really get a buzz off of them necessarily. There's actually health
Mm.
benefits to some of the herbs, even
So
when smoked.
do you feel relaxed?
Hmm.
Like what? And it tastes good?
Hmm.
Is it like tobacco or is it like hemp flower?
It's like wild daga and skullcap and
Oh wow, it's just like a an
blue
herbal tea
lotus.
remedy kind of
Hmm.
thing.
Blue
Very
lotus
cool.
petals
Huh.
and yeah, sandalwood, all sorts of stuff. Hmm.
Wow, huh. And it doesn't make you cough?
Not really, not. I mean, if I took a
Huh.
huge hit, yeah, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. But but yeah, I want to get back into your story a little bit. How did you find Realize Radio, or I guess what experiences led you to even because that's, I mean, I like HV's work. I think she does again another platform that's very more focused. Like she's very focused on the fake news, dissecting all the
Mm-hmm.
fakeness in the news,
Yeah.
whereas I talk about everything. And that I think that people can't put like a, oh, this is a cannabis guy. Or I mean, even though cannabis is definitely one of my big things, even though like cannabis and Toltec would probably be the two main ones, but I also talk about COVID and vaccines, health, law. Law has been a big one for me lately.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, it's just a whole, I guess, holistic platform in that way.
There you go. That's cool.
S- I guess what parts of your worldview resonated with Realize Radio and got you into that community? And then especially like you already mentioned you like basically everything that I do and say on this platform. What about your life and your worldview and your beliefs resonated with what I'm talking about?
This is a big question. I'm sober too. This is going to be so hard. Um, so wow. So I think I don't know. I knew that stuff in the world was like just like our society and stuff. It's just not right. And I knew that there was like magic in the world um and I knew I always have really vivid dreams and I used to lucid dream a lot and just those experiences like I don't know, it just makes you just feel like there's more, I guess, than and this is so hard. So so yeah, but of course I live in the normie world and so I was interested in John Benet Ramsey. So yeah, I just had gotten into Realize Radio because of HV's thread on Jean Benet and it was just I'd been following the story like for however long it's been and I just like it was just so spot on, and I was just like this is what it is, like how can other people not see this when you see the proof, and so then I started following HV, I guess, and uh joined the Discord and I don't know. I am pretty over like the fake news stuff, but I just like stick around in the Realize Radio community because like I just like there's like not that many places, to find people that think like you, I stick around for the community, I guess.
Right. Yeah. No, I like that too.
And just because I have followed them for several years and just I feel like I hate spending money on content and that kind of thing, but I feel kind of like it's an investment, just um I don't know. I forget where I was going with that. But anyways,
An
yeah,
investment
just,
in
I knew that
connections,
there
an
was
investment in relationships, which are really kind of like
yeah,
some of
yeah,
the most
yeah, there you
powerful,
go.
it's kind of the
Right. I
most
mean,
powerful
I would have
currency.
never yeah. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I mean, we wouldn't be here right now if I hadn't got on there, and if you hadn't. So,
What about my platform? I guess resonates with what is already inside of you. Don't not to talk about my platform so much, but about you and what resonates with you as far as
what resonates?
so I guess on a worldview level or a belief level, like for me, I don't necessarily hold any beliefs because I'm always open to being wrong.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
I
I
actually
believe
enjoy
this
being
now
wrong.
until yeah. Ooh, okay. That's a really positive spin. Yeah.
Yeah, because it just means that it's like it gets me that much closer to the truth. You know what I'm saying? Whereas a lot of people will hold on to their
Yeah.
beliefs even though they know that it's wrong
Yes.
because it's comfortable.
Yes. Yes. Cannot convince them otherwise. Yep.
Whereas it's on a belief level, like what, because
Oh, like
for
what?
me, I
Okay.
don't
Yeah.
necessarily hold any specific beliefs. My beliefs are always kind of temporary because if
Hmm.
it's proven wrong, it's gonna evolve. Like this, all of this new stuff about law, it's really changed a lot of the way that I perceive the world because I do think that the sovereignty movement is a spiritual movement. So for me, it's like
Mm.
a lot of these people, whether it's Brandon Williams or Cameron Wilson or one that I've been listening to a lot lately is Brother Truth. I'm gonna try to get him on the podcast as well.
Mm.
But one thing that they all say is like this is a spiritual endeavor, and it really you have to love yourself before you can even take this on. It's like kind of a prerequisite, self-love. And
Hmm.
I've said on the podcast many a times, like, because we delve into conspiratorial type of dialogue that can sound conspiratorial, I've always said I think that the conspiracy is really benefiting us. And it's just a matter of our
Mm.
awareness and our self-development and coming to know ourselves. Um, and law seems to have been the missing piece to my puzzle because, yeah, that's actually the truth. Because yes, there's deception going on, and there's an entire what they call de facto government in place. But de facto, it just means what's actually going on, even though it's not legitimate according to the law, you know?
Hmm. Yeah.
And I don't want to make this a law episode, but basically, my point is that whenever you come across information that challenges your worldview, if it can better you to change like your beliefs, then I don't understand why people hold on to beliefs that aren't benefiting them.
Hmm.
Um,
I mean, people don't want to believe that they were ever wrong, you know? It's an ego thing. Yeah.
yeah, but I mean,
So,
it's an ego thing for me to like love the truth. You know what I mean? And it's like
uh-huh. Yeah.
the truth to me isn't necessarily something that is like this is the truth. The truth evolves every second because it's
Hmm.
it is literally what's happening right now. As soon as I put it into words, I've already distorted it.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Yeah, I guess what I'm getting at is like, are you in that same boat where you don't really have like these are my beliefs? It's like your
Like a ton of
belief.
beliefs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I guess I would agree with that. I never really thought about it. Um I yeah, I'm not like stuck on a bunch of ideas, you know.
Hmm.
I have heard other people say, and I feel too that, you know, I believe things until, you know, someone tells me otherwise or until I hear something else that will make me change my opinion. And I feel like it's kind of
But
like breadcrumbs getting to the truth, you know. What's that?
are you open to challenging what you already believe?
Oh, sure. I mean, why not? I'm like you said, you know, you
Yeah.
want to know the truth. I think one thing for me, I love like a mystery and like so I always want to know like things that we don't know, you know? And and yeah, you know, just whatever gets you closer to what actually is the reality, you know? And yeah, I know like flat earthers, they get like a bad name and stuff, but it's like at least they're willing to consider that it's not what we're told, you know? Like
Yeah.
just have an open mind about things and you just have to live, you know, live in the moment and
Would
you
you
know, my
consider
reality
yourself a
might be different than someone else's. What's that?
would you consider yourself a
I
flat
didn't hear what you
earther?
said.
Would you,
No, but I did believe it when I first heard of it. There's plenty of convincing evidence, but you know, I don't know. I don't know if there's a lot of convincing evidence of the round shape of the earth, but you know, it's just who even knows what this realm is, you know? And why does it even have to have a shape? And where even are we anyway? You know?
think HB said something like that one time. They want to keep us
Yeah,
arguing about the shape.
she will not commit to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we're in a
She says
hologram.
a realm, I think.
Yeah, I think we're in a hologram and
Sure.
like
Why not?
our beliefs kind of fuel how we experience the world. So Believing that
Mm,
it's
yes, I
round,
think
you're
that
gonna
too.
find evidence for it being round. If you believe it's flat,
Absolutely.
you're gonna find the evidence for it being flat.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely think there's a what do they call it? A firmament.
Oh, the
Whether it
firmament,
whether
yeah.
whether it's
Yeah,
flat or
absolutely.
spherical.
I
Because when the
believe that
rainbow
too, yeah.
when rainbows
The
arch, like
rainbow, yeah.
rainbows
Yeah.
take
That
the
was the
shape of their prism, you know what I mean?
right. That was the evidence for me too that convinced me about the firmament too. Like, I mean, the Bible says it, okay. Can't really believe what that says, but
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
your own experiences. I can look and see, there's a prism there. It's shaped like that. What's it
Yeah,
reflecting off of, you know?
right, exactly.
Yeah. Or like the moon, it's like it's obviously luminescent. It's obviously making its own light. Like, come on, you believe it's reflecting off the sun? Come on,
Yeah, for sure.
you know?
Yes.
Obviously. My daughter, she doesn't really pay attention in school. And and I said one time we went outside and the moon was so bright and I was like, "Isn't it so funny that people just think that's a reflection of the sun?" And she goes, "They do?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, you didn't. I know you learned this in school." But I don't know. But it's like, yeah, on observation, look at it. It's shining brightly. Perfect circle.
You mentioned earlier that when you were young, you had like lucid dreams, or you were, I guess, a
Mm-hmm.
strong dreamer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the Toltec believe that, and I mean, it's not a belief, it's facts, but we have to say it's a belief so that we can soften it up for other people, right? But
Mm,
this is a dream, like we're in a dream right now.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I mean maybe this is the dream and it's just super real to us and when we're sleeping that's the reality.
yeah, I think that the main difference between what we call waking life and like dreaming in sleep, so to speak, the way we normally think of dreaming is the material frame, which is, in my opinion, maintained by our conscious belief. Like consciousness is what is holding
Yeah.
the material frame in place, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we could change literally the material frame of the realm if we were to truly challenge our beliefs
If we could
and
figure it out, yeah.
create something different. Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I believe that too. Yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, I've that's the one thing that makes me not want to smoke weed is that it interferes with my dreams.
Hmm.
And but I mean I like smoking more than I like dreaming, I guess, but yeah, I know that I don't remember my dreams as well, especially like when I smoke before bed, or like take gummies, but yeah, I've always lucid dreamed and lots of crazy dreams and like I've got high in my dreams before, which is pretty wild,
Mhm.
like you really feel it, or like I've had a few dreams where I've had like a dream about like a man that I don't know in real life, but like I had real emotions for him in my dream and I woke up and I had like a longing love for him and it was so sad and it was like I don't even know that guy, where did those feelings come from? But the feelings were real, like I don't know, it's very trippy.
Yeah, do you
But
think do you believe in past lives?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I
For
don't I
sure.
don't understand how people don't, but that's just me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, HB's not there. Not with us on that one, but um
Yeah, she believes she's not like this is her first time here. I mean, maybe it is. I don't know.
yeah, no,
I
I
don't
know.
have a sense. I don't have a sense of a past life. I've never been. Oh, and this is one thing. I don't know if I've ever had deja vu. I don't know if I ever have. Like I know what it is, but I don't know if I have ever had it. I definitely have not had it since I've been wondering if I have it. I've had it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But HV has had deja vu before. But um
Yeah, I've
but
definitely had
anyways,
deja vu.
huh?
I've definitely had deja vu.
Yeah.
Yeah, few
Yeah, I don't
times.
know if I ever I really don't know if I ever have. Um,
That's wild.
but
In
uh
fact,
but yeah, I mean just
I had my feet run over by a forklift in
Oh
2012.
yeah. Yeah,
And
you've told that story before. That's
yeah,
crazy.
I'm not gonna tell that whole story again right now, but like when I first got in the ambulance, I had like a crazy deja vu. Like this has all happened.
Really?
Yeah, like this has all happened before.
Really? That's
Yeah.
so interesting. I wonder, do you think it was like a different timeline kind of situation or like you did you feel like it was a past life?
I wish I could
Yeah.
explain it. I wish I
I
could explain. It's just a feel. It was a feeling,
I
you
get it.
know? It's hard to put into
Yeah.
words.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah. I hear that. Huh.
but and also like it's not a deja vu story. This is actually like the more of a past life story, but the only time I ever like I definitely get basically every day. Like it's a consistent thing where I can tell that there are future and past me's like communicating with me, you know?
Every day?
No, not like every second of every day. Like it's not,
Really? And
yeah, it doesn't go.
how? Like with numbers or
Yeah, just I think it's like I think it has something to do with my timeless perception. Like I don't believe in time. Like right now
yeah.
is connected to every future moment and every past moment. So we can change the past. Like people say
Uh-huh.
you can change the future with what you do now and like the way that we perceive time linearly, like that makes sense to people. But when you start to see things from a timelessness perspective and like every single moment is just right now, right?
Hmm.
Then it's like you can feel yourself in every manifestation. I don't even want to say prior to or after now because like what is the difference? It's all now.
Hmm.
See what I'm
It's all now,
saying?
yeah. Yeah. I love the idea. I don't experience that myself, but that's amazing for you that you can do that. That's very cool. I see numbers a lot. Like
Yeah.
my number is 41, but I see numbers like all the time constantly. And yeah, I've heard that before, that's like, oh, you're communicating with yourself or whatever. But I mean, I don't know if that's what that is or I don't know what it is, but I do see numbers constantly. And like, lots of synchronicities and that kind of stuff.
My birthday adds up to 41.
That's awesome. I love that.
7/7, 1989. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. Your birthday adds up to 41. That's so cool.
Yep. Um, what I was gonna say is the first time I don't know if you use other psychedelics outside of cannabis. I don't very much anymore, but in my early 20s, I definitely did a lot of LSD and mushrooms and
Whoa.
DMT.
All right.
I was making DMT for a while. Um,
Wow, really? That's pretty
hmm
awesome. Huh.
yeah, but
Do you still have the recipe?
oh yeah, oh yeah. I don't. I mean, I actually have some. I've had DMT in my little dresser drawer, like one or two hits left, but I mean, it's been 5, 6, 7 years.
Oh, really? Is it still good? Is it still potent after time? Yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine
Huh.
so. I would imagine so.
Wild.
Um,
Huh. That's
but
very cool.
the first time I tripped on anything outside of cannabis or alcohol, was LSD. It was in September of 2009. And again, like I couldn't go into detail, like just like deja vu, it's more of a feeling, but this feeling was a little bit stronger and a little bit more detailed in the sense that I can put it into words. But at the same time, I couldn't come close to fully putting it into words. But basically, I took a tab around like 8 or 9 o'clock p.m. one night, like my beginning of my junior year of college. And like a very typical thing that happens to people, especially when they first take LSD or especially LSD, I think, because of how long it takes to start hitting you. They think it's not working. And that's exactly what
Mm.
happened to me. I was like, this shit ain't working. So I took a second one.
Took more. Yes, I was wondering if that's what would happen.
Literally
Oh
like
man, so you were
10,
blown away.
yeah, like 10, 15 minutes after I took the second one, the first one started hitting. And I was like, oh man, I'm
Oh.
about to be gone. So I stayed up all night, had a lot of fun. Uh, Not really anything eventful other than just having fun and tripping. My first psychedelic experience is pretty cool. But the part that really got me was it's like 6:50, 7 a.m., 7, it's coming up on sunrise. Let's put it like that. And I was laying down on my back patio. I was in an apartment, but it was on the ground floor. And I was out back and just laying down. And as the sun rose, like as it's coming above the horizon, like my whole body just started convulsing.
Oh.
Yeah, like crazy, crazy convulsing, like from my root chakra all the way up to my crown. And and my boy at the time, he came outside like as I was convulsing. He was like, "Bro, you okay?" And
Ah,
I kind of like had to breathe and like bring myself back into my body. And I was just like, and this is the part where it's like I can hardly remember I can't formulate words to put on the experience itself, but I remember what I said to him. And that's what allows me to remember like, damn, I was definitely experiencing some past life shit or something like that.
wow.
Because I
Really?
looked at him as soon as I came back into my body, I was just like, yeah, man, I'm just on my Aztec warrior shit right now. He
Whoa.
started laughing.
Wow.
He
How
started laughing.
cool.
Yeah, he started laughing so hard, and I was just like, but what was crazy about it, Lindsay, is I didn't know anything about the Toltecs at this time.
Really?
And
Oh,
so
wow.
my visions were very like the only thing that I knew at the time was
Oh, it was
Aztec.
Aztec. You associated it with that.
But
Oh, isn't
Aztec was
that
actually a
interesting?
fault, like they are descendants of the Toltecs. So like now that I've gotten into the
Mm,
Toltec stuff and I've, you know, I guess become somebody that loves their worldview and lifestyle and all that, it's like maybe that's what it was instead. I don't know.
yeah, for
I don't,
sure.
I literally have no idea, but it's just like thinking back on that, it's like,
Probably. Why else would you'd be
yeah,
so attracted to the Toltec thing,
it just resonates on such a deep level for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, yeah, sorry to get a little bit about myself there, but um
That's fine. I'm not
uh
used to talking about myself a lot and like I have a hard time putting things into words, so
well you're a mother of three, right?
yes.
That to me is like and I already know that with your parents being kind of conservative, Alex Jones, Rush Limbaugh type people, like I do think that there is like the whole what do they call it? Feminism, right? It's like, is that really female empowerment? Because it's basically teaching y'all to be more like men and try to compete in a man's world
Mm,
instead of empowering your own powers. You know what I mean? And like
that's a good point. That's an interesting point. Yeah.
I think that the mother is literally the most important job in the economy. Like if you want to be
Oh, wow.
a bottom line, business like corporate fucking business schmuck, like
Hmm.
if you really think about the economy, raising kids, like raising people to produce for the economy. I mean,
Hmm.
I'm not that type of person, but even if you look at it at that level, if you're gonna look at it holistically, you have to understand that like the mother is like I don't even know how to put it into words. It's like
Yeah, the
you
cornerstone kind of thing
well,
or
you literally birth
where it
life. You're
begins.
like the life
Yeah.
giver. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Uh-huh.
I don't
My daughter and I talk about like, about God and like how they call him a man. And yeah, we both agree like if there's a God, like don't you think it would be a woman? Like don't you think
Mhm.
the creator's a woman? But
Well, I mean,
who knows?
I I feel, and I don't want to say I know, but I feel strongly that yes, um, there are masculine and feminine qualities to the creator, but I will say I think that the feminine exists first.
Mm,
Like the receptive principle has to be there for the active principle to have anything to do.
hmm.
You
Hmm.
know what I mean?
Hmm.
Um, so that's my take on it. I mean, one of my favorite hip hop artists, he has a song, God's a Girl, Absol,
Oh.
and I mean it's a lot of good points. I feel like to me, it's a balancing act. Perfect, perfect for
Mhm.
like the my platform name because I think that the goddess is the reason that the divine feminine and the goddess and these type of topics are coming up now is because we have been predominantly dominated by the masculine over the last
Mm,
however like
mhm.
I don't I don't know how much I believe in history, but seemingly for a very long time, we've been very male dominated,
Yeah. Hmm.
imbalanced, right? So I do feel like that this whole popularizing of the or this discussion of the goddess and the divine feminine is very necessary for that balancing. But I also feel like I want to caution against going so far in like the super feminist direction of like we don't even need men and mm, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's my daughter. Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I
let's
mean,
balance this shit out a little bit. You know what I mean? Like we all have feelings, we all have thoughts, we all have beliefs, we all have like people in our lives that we love. Like let's be a little bit more balanced and not so like, you know, fuck bitches and then bitches are like fuck men, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
it's a lot of that discourse on the internet, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Especially Twitter, which is the cesspool
Yeah.
of all social media, but like I definitely see a lot of men hatred and woman hatred. And it's like,
Yeah. Why can't we all just get
and
along? Yeah.
why can't we just love each other and like not use the word love in a romantic sense all the time?
Yeah. I
Love is just
know.
literally what is.
Right.
We are
Hmm.
love. Like
Hmm.
literally, that is what we are. Like
Yeah. It's the most
anything,
important thing.
it's literally what we are. It's li
Hmm.
like I can't stress that point enough. We are love. Anytime we're showing hatred, that's just love for something we don't want. You know what I mean? Or it's all love. It's
That's
all this
funny. Uh-huh.
confused love. Every negative emotion is love that has gotten confused in some way, shape, or form and is distorted by a lie because the only truth is love. That's how I see it. And that's the truth. That is the truth. I don't even want to say that's how I see it.
Hmm.
That's just the truth.
Yeah, I love that. Hmm. I forget what I was gonna say when we
You
were
were gonna
talking.
we were talking about the mother and you said something about
Oh, right, right, right. Yeah. So,
your daughter, I guess, is a kind of
just
feminist at this point.
I do feel
She's young though.
like, family is so important because like there's so many kids, like you can see with all the kids that were raised by a single mom, they all have the daddy issues, like it's just so important to have a mother and father raise a child. Like, I mean, at least ideally, it's like the best way to do it. And like they say like what is it, the triangle or tripod, like three, it's like the most sturdy shape. And it's, I don't know, just something about like the family. It's very I don't know. I just feel it's important. And yeah, I have thought before, like feminism, um it's kind of like it was one of the movements to kind of destroy the nuclear family idea kind of thing and make it less appealing. And um yeah. Uh and yeah, like you said, the balance. I don't really get into astrology. But I'm a Libra, and that's the balance. And I feel that, like, I do feel that, like, that, that balance, you know what I mean? Like that I don't know, just I don't know how to explain it, but I feel the balance in my life, you know what I mean? And
Well, that's great. That's awesome. That's good.
yeah, and I can't remember where else I was going with that. But I mean, feminism, I mean, I think it's great, like if women just
Well,
have the
okay.
options and do whatever they want. I mean,
There
being a
was
mom is not for everyone. It's a very hard job, very thankless,
so
doesn't pay well at all.
there's been four waves of feminism, and the first wave was like pretty much everybody agrees with that now. Like women should have equal rights and like very basic stuff. The second wave, and I'm not the person to break this down very well, but I do remember reading about it, and it's like the first wave and the second wave. Most people seem to kind of agree with a lot of the dialogue and discussion that these feminists were putting forth in the 60s and 70s. It's when you hit third wave feminism that it starts to become like fuck men. And then the fourth wave is
Mm,
like men shouldn't even exist sort of thing and like
yeah.
gender isn't even real type shit. So it's like now it's
Yeah.
gone way off the rails, but like
Yeah.
So when you say feminism, yeah, there's the early feminism, which I think was necessary to balance the male-dominated culture a little bit. And now I think feminism is trying to swing the pendulum too far in the other direction. And as a reaction to that, you have the people that, for lack of a better term, are on the political right that are just like bashing feminism altogether. And it's like, no, there's a reason why this even started. And it's because of people like you that aren't acknowledging the power of the feminine. You know what I mean? So it's really a delicate
Mm-hmm.
balance.
Yeah, I don't, yeah. And why, uh, yeah, why is the divine feminine so suppressed? Yeah,
Hmm.
because it's that important, I guess. Yeah, because yeah, and we've always been like living in the shadow of a man and all of that for a long
Yeah, I
time.
think intuition is something that modern culture is scared of. And I think intuition is like the feminine knowing, right? Whereas
Mm,
rationality is like the masculine knowing. And for many years, like culture in general, especially just like European culture, colonizing culture, let's put it like that, uh, they're very rational and logical minded. And so they just don't give much credence to intuition. You know what I mean? It's like if we don't know how
mm.
we know, then it's not legit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's all stems from like not not trusting in the fact that consciousness is a thing. It's like it's an anti-spiritual endeavor to say that intuition is not legitimate. You know what I mean? Because
Mm,
that is our connection to the divine. We don't know how we know, but we know. And there's something to it. We all have it. You know what I
hmm.
mean? A lot of people deny it and they'll shove it down and pretend like, you know, I don't know how I thought that, so it can't be real. It just came out of nowhere. Well, nothing comes from
Yeah, yeah.
nowhere.
Uh-huh.
Like it came from somewhere. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I would
Yeah, I
say,
just don't know how people don't know how to recognize their intuition.
yeah,
Myself included, I don't always know how to recognize it, but sometimes.
I think well the Toltecs have a word for it or a term for it, and they call it the silent knowledge.
Hmm.
Because there's what we call the voice of knowledge speaks in our language. You know what I'm saying? But like not everybody speaks
Hmm.
English.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
But the voice of silence or the
Yeah.
silent knowledge, like when you know something and it didn't happen because
Yeah,
you,
not in
well,
words.
yeah, it just
Yeah.
you just knew it. And it's kind of
Yeah.
it's heart consciousness based too, you know, and it's just you just know. There's no how. It's just you just know, you know.
Hmm.
Um, and I think that's I personally think the females in general, but the feminine, because we all have masculine and feminine in us, I think that's where the feminine is stronger. Like they have a connection to the heart consciousness that I don't want to say men don't have, but it's easier for men to block it out and just like stay in their logical, rational mind, you know, and rationalize even their own intuition. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
there's
Yes.
they have to have a rational reason why they thought that or they know that. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Um, anyways, just kind of rambling at that point, but I do find the feminine has that like clearer channel to source.
Hmm.
Do you feel that?
Yeah. We have a soul portal in our body.
I
You
mean
know?
you have daughters and sons, right?
Yeah, I have two boys and a girl, yeah.
So I mean, do you see that difference? Do you kind of see that manifest between your daughter and your two sons? Like, is your daughter more intuitive?
My daughter is pretty intuitive. She it's hard to say though, because I mean they're still my my one son is 14 and the other's 11, so um I don't know, it's hard to say when they're young and we don't talk about like crazy deep stuff a lot, or you know. But my daughter, she has um what's it called? Sleep paralysis sometimes,
Mm,
which is like associated with astral traveling.
hmm.
And well actually my youngest son, he has crazy dreams too. But
Hmm.
uh she they really scare her, and so she doesn't really like to talk about it or get into that stuff. But yeah, I feel like yeah, probably there's, and she has this really weird like manifesting thing where she just gets the craziest things that you would never, like I would tell her, I don't know, honey, I don't think that that's gonna happen, but it did, like just whatever she wants, it seems like she gets, even if it seems impossible, you know what I mean? Like it's really crazy how things seem to work out for her like that. Um and I never really thought about if about, about it because she's a girl or anything. But I might have to think about it more and get back to you.
Yeah,
You
for
know.
sure. What are you
A lot of
passionate
times
about?
if I don't know the answer to something, I have a hard time like thinking about it on the spot.
Yeah, for sure. What are you passionate about as far as like your day to day?
What am I passionate about? I guess like joy,
Mm,
um, just enjoying the day to day. Being a stay-at-home mom can get pretty boring, but like I'm happy all day, not all day, but I'm happy a lot throughout the day, just enjoying everything, even if it's not. I think that's why I like weed too, because it helps you just enjoy, it makes everything more fun to me.
hmm
Um, just like having fun and just whatever, just sometimes it's just fun, just making lunch and just doing whatever. And yeah, I guess. I mean, I never really thought about that I'm passionate about it, but it's a pretty big focus, I guess, and just lots of healthy habits, healthy eating, intermittent fasting, and I do oil pulling every day, stuff like that. Music, music's very important. Um,
What type
what
of music
else?
do you like?
What's that?
What type of music?
I like just about anything that you can sing along with, like I like pretty much just about anything, like once you hear a song a couple times, I don't know, as long and it's if it's not bad, it's usually, I don't know, enjoyable. I like just about anything. Um, I don't get into country very much though, but classic rock, just whatever. My son's name's Jude, so I was a Beatles fan.
My
Once
son,
I learned about the Beatles, and that whole stuff, that was a little sad, but but
yeah, Hey Jude was actually playing when my son was born.
Oh my goodness, wow,
Yeah,
that's cool.
yeah.
That's a
What it?
good that's a good song to, yeah, huh. That's cool. Nice memory.
Yeah, for sure. What
Takes you back.
what did you find out about the Beatles that you didn't like?
That I didn't like.
You said something right
Well,
at the end of that.
just like well, it was uh just all fake, just all of the stuff is probably just fake, but and all of the crazy stuff about all of the crazy stuff in their lyrics, and I don't even really remember now. I just remember hearing about it and being like, "Oh, that's disappointing."
Yeah, I've
And
definitely come
stuff.
across that sort of
And
stuff.
anybody that gets really famous, they're playing the game, so they're probably not they're probably not good people. Probably not. Even if they're real people, they're probably just people playing characters.
Yeah, yeah. There's certainly something to that. Um, what outside of the John Benet Ramsey, what fake news stories do you think? Because I obviously realize radio harps on this stuff all the time and is always pointing out like this is fake, this is fake, this is fake. And a lot of times I'm like, yeah, that's pretty real. But for me, it's like there are some stories that if people were to find out that they were fake, it would be more impactful than others. And
Mm.
for me, one of those is clearly the Jeffrey Epstein
Oh,
debacle saga, whatever you want to call it. And like,
yeah.
although I don't always agree with HV, and I'm a very disagreeable person, which is why the Four Agreements is so important to me because it emphasizes the importance of agreements, and these are agreements you make with yourself to live a joyful life. But I do agree with her on this. It just the more you look into this guy, it's just like he's a fucking CGI character. Like almost
Hmm.
all of the pictures are fucking photoshopped of this man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, the whole Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself, like, yeah, because he doesn't fucking exist. You know what I mean?
I think it's like common knowledge now. I'm pretty sure like it's like a normie topic now.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And the fact that that's what I'm getting at. That's exactly what I'm
Hmm.
getting at, Lindsay, is like if people were to find out that he was fake, that would just blow the top off of all this shit. Because it's like even the
Hmm.
mainstream people are like, what's going on with this fucking conspiracy? Like,
Hmm.
and don't get me wrong. I'm not as agreeable with HB when it comes to like she doesn't believe that there are pedophile rings at all. Like it's all bullshit. Like I don't know
Oh.
about that. I think that there's real shit going on and they're using him as a fake cover. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
There's reality to it. Like all of these, and that's where I disagree with HB. I do think that there's a reality to a lot of these terrible situations that are put on the news in such a way where it's totally fucking fake. But that's a cover for what's really going on, and that's my opinion.
Yeah,
That's my opinion on that.
yeah.
Now, there are stories that they throw out there where it's just totally fake. And there is nothing real behind it at all, like the Ocean Gate shit. Like that shit was just totally fucking distractionville. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Um, but people eat it up because billionaires are dying, right? You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah. The one guy from The Simpsons went on the submarine before. Like that's what? Yeah. Yeah, that was crazy.
yeah. I guess I say that to say, I mean, first of all, do you agree with me on that? Like, I kind of feel like if that specific the Jeffrey Epstein saga was exposed as like this man's fake, Ghislaine Maxwell's fake. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
people would really start to question what the fuck is going like what is my reality? You know what I'm saying? Like people are they're
Hmm.
already kind of getting there because even people that were never conspiratorial are like they're buying the Epstein conspiracy, right? But then if they were to find out that even that is another layer of fakeness to keep them distracted from what's really going on, I don't know. I think that could actually spark I guess it would amplify this kind of awakening that's already taken place. Do you feel that?
I mean, that would be amazing, you know.
Or
Hopefully it happens.
do you think that there
I
are stories like that? Or first of all, do you agree with me on that particular story? And then whether you agree with me or not on that particular story, do you think there are other stories that are happening that are fake that if people found out were fake, it would
mm,
actually, because like for instance, if people were to find out that the Ocean Gate thing was fake, I don't know that that moves the needle so much. People
mm,
are just, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah. It would have to be
yeah,
bigger, yeah. It would have to be,
yeah,
yeah. Yeah, I feel like maybe if a school shooting, I don't know. I don't watch the news. I don't pay attention to the
right.
news. Like if I hear news, it's because like I saw it on Discord or
No,
you
you're
know,
right.
like
You're right
so
about
I'm
that. I think if one of the school shootings was because then,
mhm,
Parkland, people got in trouble for calling that fake, and Alex Jones with the Sandy Hook got in
mhm.
trouble for calling that fake. But it's like,
Yeah, that was so ridiculous. And
yeah,
he got fined $1 billion or something. I
which
mean,
that was
come
probably
on.
fake too.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So,
So yeah, just yeah. Yeah, I would it's funny because like I feel like ever since 2020, like there's been so much stuff that's happened and like you'd think that it would like open people's eyes and they'd be like, wow, what's going on in the world? And like it like, you know, the Epstein
no.
stuff and just like everything. There's like just been so much happening and it's like I do feel like there are more people that are aware of things than there used to be.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I don't yeah, it would have to be something big for sure. Yeah. And I that would be amazing. And I hope it happens. You know.
Um,
Trump is
yeah,
Elvis.
I have my own opinion. I have my own opinions about Joe Rogan. Like, I don't necessarily just.
Oh, what do you think about him?
I think he's definitely controlled opposition or
Yeah, how could he
whatever.
not be?
Yeah, right. Nobody gets that big
Yeah,
without being part of the game. But
right.
he did tweet something that I was like in total agreement with the other day. He said, "Shout out to everybody who still doesn't believe in any conspiracies.
Ooh.
your abilities to stick to your guns is inspiring. And it's like, yes, that's real.
Huh. Uh-huh. Yeah, I do enjoy Joe Rogan. I don't listen to him a whole lot, but I've seen, episodes here and there when, he has someone interesting on. And and he does complain about how people call him controlled opposition and oh, I'm not and blah 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 and I do what I want, whatever. But I mean, of course, like he has to answer to, his producers or
His
whoever is helping
sponsors.
him run the show.
Yeah,
Like he's not he can't he doesn't work for himself, like
right.
he still has to listen to someone and yeah. He needs to yeah, for him to he would have to be independent for me to not believe that he was controlled opposition.
Right.
He could be. I don't understand why he's not really. Because he's big enough. He could just work for himself. Maybe he's in a contract or something for years.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know, man. At a certain level of influence, clout, whatever you want to call that. Um, yeah, I don't think they'll allow it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Probably not.
they'll threaten your family. You know what I'm saying?
You
Have you
could
ever?
do it, but we'll break your wife's legs or, who
Right,
knows, something.
right, right. What was one of the first conspiracies? Was the John Bonet was HV's um
My first conspiracy was Rh negative blood, and that is my favorite conspiracy.
ooh, I want more. I want more because this is a big
Oh,
one for me. This is a huge one for
yes,
me.
I love it. It's yeah, it was my first conspiracy. The first thing I read about and because I'm Rh negative and I
Hmm.
found out when I was pregnant with my daughter and I had heard of it before because I had a coworker that was Rh negative, but I just didn't know a lot about it. And then when I learned about it, it was just like this is so bizarre and this is just common medical knowledge.
Hmm.
So so yeah, like Rh negative blood, if the mom has Rh negative blood and the dad has Rh positive blood, then their blood does not mix well and it causes problems when you have babies down the road. And
Oh,
like for your
I will say
for
I just need to throw this in there. I'm Rogam baby.
yeah, yeah, I remember you talking about that
I don't know. I
in one
haven't looked into
episode.
this. I haven't looked into this like you have, and that's why I'm very
Mm.
interested to hear what you have to say. But
Oh,
yes,
okay.
my mother was Rh negative. I'm Rh positive, and we could not be. I haven't talked to her in 6 years. She's a
Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah.
Trumpian, and yeah, I mean, yeah,
Oh,
it just is what it is at this point. But
yeah.
you
I
know,
have a strained
I got
relationship with my mom too. Yeah, I know
yeah,
how it
yeah,
goes.
I got love for her, but I just can't.
Mhm.
I can't continue to interact with somebody who's just not even in reality. Like they're completely delusional and
And in the
honestly,
wrong
but
way.
yeah, and like,
Not the wrong way out of reality.
I mean, I don't want to sound mean, but I think she needs real help, but she's never gonna get it
Mm,
because she's so convinced that, you know,
yeah.
fundamental, like, not, it's not even fundamental Christian stuff. It's just total fucking brainwashing. It's just like
Yeah, that's my mom
Trump
too.
is the
That's my mom
savior,
too.
and I mean, it's fucking crazy, bro.
That's my mother-in-law. She thinks Trump is saving them, saving
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Yep. Well,
But no, I want
cheers
you
to
to,
our mothers.
but well, yeah, yeah. Shout out my mama.
But
I do love her, but I do want to hear
mhm,
about this RH negative thing because I haven't really looked into it probably the way that you have.
mhm,
And I mean, I think about it,
mhm.
especially ever since we stopped talking and like we've been estranged. It's like maybe we were just literally not compatible for each other. Like we weren't. She wasn't supposed to be able to have
Mm.
me
Wow, that's
naturally.
so wild to think
The
about.
Rogam shot is the only reason that I was allowed to live. You know what I mean? It's like it's
Mm.
kind of crazy, kind of crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's a deep thought, huh? Crazy thing to think about. Well,
What did you
yeah,
find
so
out
let me
about it?
think about, huh?
What did you know? Like, what do you know about the Rh negative, Rh positive interaction in the
Yeah,
Rogam
yeah, I was
shot?
trying to so yeah, it's just really crazy. So if you it's not with your first baby. With your first baby, you're okay. Um if your baby comes out Rh negative or Rh positive and you're Rh negative, you're okay. The baby's okay. But if there is blood mixed between the baby and the mother, if you get the Rh positive blood into the Rh negative blood, then your body, the Rh negative body, is going to start making what's it called? The Rh negative body is going to start making antibodies against the Rh positive blood. And yeah, so like it doesn't always kill the baby, but sometimes it just needs like a blood transfusion or something like that. But yeah, it's just so crazy to think about, if two people are not like biologically compatible, their body will kill the baby or can kill the baby, or it's not going to be healthy necessarily, because of that. And it's so crazy, like it's just a really bizarre situation. And so um they
Was there,
say
was
they
there
don't know where
anything,
Rh negative blood came from.
is there anything that can be done?
And they say,
Sorry to interrupt. Is
I
there
was
any,
just gonna say it came 5,000 years ago. It just showed up 5,000 years ago. Rh negative blood did.
and what did they
Before
do
that, it wasn't
before the
around.
ROGAM shot?
I guess the baby would have just died, or they wouldn't have even known about it. They
It
wouldn't.
would
It
have
would have
just been a
just been a
miscarriage.
problems or a miscarriage. Yeah,
Gotcha. All
yeah.
right.
Because
And then so
yeah.
keep
What are you
going.
gonna do?
So keep going. You said it only showed up 5,000 years ago?
Yeah, it only showed up 5,000 years ago. And they don't know where it came from. Which I mean, well, that's what they tell us. But I mean, 5,000 years ago, they don't know where it came from. 15% of the world has it, and the largest concentration of Rh negative people is in the Basque Mountains of Spain. So, just some trivia about it.
Why, what are
So,
your ideas or thoughts about this? Like not just what you've read about it, but like
mhm.
taking what you read and
Mostly it's just a
inferring.
mystery.
Mm,
Well, okay. Okay, I have heard some stuff about like the Anunnaki came and they modified our bodies, and it's like
mm. Now we're getting
it's something
somewhere.
left over from, huh?
Now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, so the Anunnaki came and they said this is just a theory that they came here and it was like we were like monkeys or cavemen, and they came here and they changed us um to be workers for them or something. And so when
To
they did
mine
that,
gold.
that's where it came from, like because it's like a remnant of like being combined with aliens or something like that. I mean, some people say it's Jesus's bloodline. Um, I don't know. Really, it's just a mystery still to me. I don't know. It's just something interesting and special. And whenever I see an article about it, I'll read it. But there's really nothing new that's come out about it, really. Like, just usually just,
I mean,
you know,
like you said, they say they don't know. I'm sure they do.
yeah, you're probably right. Yeah.
So if that's the case, then of course they're not going to talk about it too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you think, I mean, if you're RH negative, like what are your own experiences that you've had that you intuitively think might have something to do with that?
Oh, I mean, I don't.
And do you know if the baby has RH negative or RH? Like, I don't even know if I'm RH negative or
Oh,
RH
okay.
positive. Do you know?
So you have to you test the blood when the baby's born. So when I was pregnant with my second baby, then I had to get tested to see if I was making antibodies against the baby. And I was not. And so that was good. And I guess that means that, I didn't get any of my daughter's blood mixed with my blood when she was born. And really, the baby doesn't really bleed a lot, so there's not really a reason for you to get the baby's blood in your system anyway. So it seems unlikely that you would have that problem. But uh yeah, I wasn't making antibodies, everything was good. And my second baby, he was Rh negative also. He has the same blood type that I do. And so then just with my youngest. He's Rh positive, and so then I had to get a RhoGAM shot after he was born, and
Wait, you got it
it was a
after
big
he was
scare
born?
needle. Huh?
You got it after he was born?
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
I was like, say, back in 1989, you had to get it in vitro.
Oh wow, yeah. I know like some people do it different, some doctors do it different. Like I had a midwife, so they're pretty like to do things natural and hands off. But I know like I had a friend that she is Rh negative and she had like a bunch of RhoGAM shots while she was pregnant. Um and probably after too, I think it just depends on, whether you're making antibodies against the baby, is how they do it. So I'm not
Gotcha.
not entirely sure. But yeah,
It's
after
definitely
like
interesting.
yeah, it's a crazy subject. And it's funny because it's just like a mainstream thing, when you go to the doctor and you
Well, it
have
has to be mainstream because of the fact that it's your blood type, and when you're born, I mean,
mm,
there's so many practical factors that have to be accounted for. But it's not. I mean, you would think it would be a big, like, more known, really.
hmm yeah, because it's like I when I heard about it, I thought it was like the weirdest, wildest thing I'd ever heard. And like I would think it was weird even if I heard it and it was like about me, you know what I mean? Like it was going on in my body and I was like, what the hell is going on? What is up with this? And they do say like people that are Rh negative, um, they say they have like more alien abductions and they have more psychic experiences. Like there's a lot of like far out stuff that they say goes along with it. And they don't say that in like the medical journals, but just stuff I've read online.
No, I mean, my
I've never
mom.
had any experiences with aliens, so that does not apply to me.
Yeah, I don't think I mean, if she did, she never said anything about it. But I do remember growing up, she was also very into dreams. She had like a dream interpretation book. And when my dad's dad, who she admired my dad's dad. I think a lot of the reason she married my dad was because of how much she loved his dad.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
but like when he was sick and dying, she had a dream where like a guardian angel came and basically like told her everything's gonna be okay, you know? Um,
Oh.
so I do remember like growing up, and she was definitely, my dad would kind of poke fun at her because she was, into astrology, and had, was all about dream interpretation, and she was definitely like a believer that psychic readings were um, you know, at least could be legitimate, you know what I mean? Um
Right, yeah. Yeah, I'm very leery of psychics, but I mean, I know there's got to be real ones out there, but
yeah.
if they're charging money, in a
Yeah.
in a store,
Yeah,
no
that's
thanks.
yeah, that's pretty funny. Um for sure. But yeah, what do you make of, I guess, for lack of a better term, psi experiences, whether we're talking about deja vu or past lives or sleep paralysis, any of these sorts of experiences that are known, but science refuses to even, well, I don't want to say all science, because there are um lesser known studies. Like I have a whole book over here called like the Handbook for Psy Experiences or something like that. So there are people doing experiments, but the mainstream doesn't really touch the subject. Why do you think that is?
Like, I mean, to me it just seems like evidence that there's like
Ether?
I don't know. There's just more out there, there's dimensions, there's different realities, there's just so much more out there that we can't experience when we're awake, I guess. Or, you know, there's just so much more to what's to I don't know. There's just other stuff out there,
More than
different
what?
dimensions, different timelines, huh? Different
Mo-
astral planes. Just
Yeah. But why do you think that this type of information is suppressed is what I'm getting at. What's
oh,
the
why do
whole
I think it's suppressed?
what's the point of suppressing it?
Well,
Yeah, I actually don't know. Like I have
Well, they
no
want to keep
clue.
us, they
Why
want to
would
keep us like dumb zombies, not believing in God or magic or anything like that, Like I think just uh everything in reality, I feel like is like a distraction to keep us away from like our own spirituality and our own like highest just the best version of ourself, the highest timeline or just the best the best for us kind of thing. And if we all lived in joy and bliss all the time, well, then they couldn't get as good a loosh off of the misery that they get. You know what I mean? Like they like that
yeah.
better.
I think so how I would interpret what you were just saying is, and obviously I'm stretching it a little bit here to fit how I see the this issue. Do you believe in archons or just like
Mhm. Yeah.
ethereal beings?
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, there's definitely call them what you will,
Yeah, yeah,
but
gods,
yeah,
demons,
for sure
angels.
there's negative. Yeah, there's something negative that enjoys the
Well,
negative
whoa, whoa. I don't know.
energy.
I don't know about the negative part. I think that there's a spectrum from, lies and fear based. And then I think that even the ethereal beings, there are angels and love based entities as well. In fact, I think that the proof of that is the awakening that's taken place. Like people wouldn't be waking up if the ethereal beings were 100% fear based. You know what I mean? We would still be locked in fear and we wouldn't even know about love if there weren't ethereal beings that were
Hmm.
guiding us toward love, in my opinion.
Hmm.
But I guess the reason I asked the question is because to me, it's like if there are like, why isn't love winning? We should already, I guess we've already won,
Yeah, that's
but
a good
like,
point. Yeah.
and from my timelessness point of view, we've already won, right? But from this linear
Hmm.
time that it seems like we're kind of stuck in due to other people's beliefs holding that material framework in place, like,
Hmm.
why is fear still, I don't want to say winning because words have
Yeah.
power and I don't believe that
It's
it's winning or
just,
gonna
I
win, but
mean,
it's still a thing. Like there's still so much fear.
we're surrounded by fear, like everywhere you look, and even just scary movies, like,
And I think that's what keeps people from challenging their beliefs. They're scared that if they were to believe something else, then that might, it's like the devil you know is better than the devil you don't type of thing. And so it's like,
yeah.
even though what I already believe is not working for me and I'm a corporate slave, like if I was to believe something else, I could end up homeless. You know what I mean? It's like,
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just kind of spitballing right now, but it's just fear seems to be locking people away from their highest potential, which you were getting at is like
Uh-huh.
we are love, but people aren't tapping into their own love because
Yeah.
that
I
fear,
mean, it's hard.
the
Yeah.
brainwashing is so much, there's so many lies. And
Yeah.
it all comes down to that. Like this, people believe in so many lies, mostly about themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're just fed that from birth, just programmed the fear.
Mm.
And then there's a lot, there's a lot more fear now, I think, than like when I was younger, my mom would let me go outside like by myself, outside on the sidewalk when I was like 7 years old. Like I didn't let my kids go outside by themselves. Like when they were seven, no way, like even though I really do try, like I really try to say to myself, I do not live in fear. I am not afraid of these things. Like today, today I was at a thrift store and my change was $15.41. And 541 was in there, and that's my address at my house. And I said to the cashier, I was like, "Oh, I love that. That's my address is in there. That's my address." And my little boy, he's like, "You just doxed yourself." And I was like, "I'm not afraid of that. It's okay."
Yeah. Yep.
But uh
No,
but
but
I mean, yeah, I
to your
mean,
point,
and I
like
mean,
a lot of the fear, I don't want to say it's substantiated, but at the same time, it's like when all again, a lot of this comes down to stuff that HP talks about. A lot of the stuff that programs us with fear is straight up fake. And don't get me wrong, it's not all
Yeah,
fake.
yeah.
There is a place for fear, right? I think if if you're in the woods and a bear starts running towards you, feeling fear is probably a
Hmm.
positive thing. It's going to allow you
Yeah,
to run
yeah.
away. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Um, so I think that there's that kind of fear, but I think what most people experience in terms of fear is irrational fears based on
Yeah.
beliefs that are
Yeah.
lies.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, and myself too, I worry about things still, even though I know like I don't need to, and even though I do feel that everything will be fine, like if I think logically, but it's just how it is, Just
I
there's
think
fear everywhere.
the word that you use where I was just like, yeah, that's it, is the program.
Yeah.
I mean, it's program, you break down that word, it's just like that's what TV programming is. They're literally feeding us beliefs
Hmm.
subliminally a lot of times,
Hmm.
and a
Yeah, and like in
lot of those
school,
beliefs are fear-based.
yeah, like in school, there's like the active shooter drills now,
Hmm.
like I actually talked to this old lady one time, and she was talking about how they used to have to get under their desks um for the
Atomic
what was
bomb.
it, the atomic bomb stuff,
Yeah.
and or the nuclear stuff or whatever, and she was talking about how she was so afraid, and sometimes she could still remember how afraid she was under the desk, being scared for her life as a little kid. And I was just like, that's so freaking sad. And it's all fake, you don't need to worry about that stuff. Poor thing. And that was an old lady, and she was
But
still,
see,
she's still
so
remembering the fear.
so although I agree in principle with everything that you just said, the part where I just like it rubs me a little wrong is just like why we're calling it fake, and this is the HV thing that kind of rubs me the wrong way sometimes. It's like yes, it's fake, but break that down so that they understand. Like the reason it's not the fear programming is not fake. That's the whole point.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if they can keep your consciousness fear-based, then you're easier to control.
Hmm.
And it's easier for you to not start living your own life and writing your own program because you're scared that if you were to do that, an atomic bomb's gonna hit. Whatever, it's just all fear-based. Like all of the fake stuff, yeah, it's fake in the fact that it's not really happening or really true. And I agree with HV on that
Hmm.
part, but it's like
Yeah.
if you want to get through to the people that are believing it, you have to you have to communicate that in a way that it's like, yes, it's fake, but here's why it's fake. Because if people don't understand why, they're not going to believe that it's fake. Like, why would they do that? You know what I'm saying? Of course it's real. Why would
Yeah.
they lie about that?
Uh-huh.
Well, they're lying about it because it's keeping you scared, and keeping you scared is profitable.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to buy
My
products to make yourself, prettier or whatever. Literally all of business is making you think that you're not enough and that you need this product.
Absolutely. Yep, capitalism.
Yeah. Unrestrained capitalism is a problem, but I don't think socialism or communism is the answer either, though.
Mhm.
I think when it comes to the economic part of it, the solution is gift economy. Um,
Mm.
yeah, I don't believe in crypto. I don't believe in none of that shit, man. Gifts are the true economic uh model, right? Like tribes. Think of like
Hmm.
indigenous and aboriginal
Yeah.
tribes, like
Community farming. Yeah.
and the people who give the most away, they're the elders. It's not a vote. Like you've made yourself the elder by being the most giving person. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
There's no elections. You know what I'm saying?
That's cool. Uh-huh. I like that.
It's just givers. And like a lot of times givers are not the type of people that want to be in positions of leading. But people who don't want to be in positions of leading are usually the best leaders because they're just leading by example instead of telling
Hmm.
other people what to do. you know.
Yeah, that's what I try to do. That's kind of like what I think, I'll lead by example. Yeah. I'm not going to try to tell people what to do. I'll just do what I do. Be the change you want to see.
What's it like? Um, how old are your kids?
17, 14, and 11.
Do you talk to them about any of this stuff?
I do. They, I don't know. I think they think I'm a little crazy.
Well, of course,
Some
but
of
I
the
mean,
stuff.
17 means born in 2008. So you're talking about
Mhm.
being born
Oh, yeah, you're a math guy.
7 years after 9/11, which was
Uh-huh.
really, I mean, I was 12 when 9/11 happened, and I was 18 by the time I realized that what we were told was not the truth. I don't know the truth. I'm not going to pretend like I know the
Hmm.
truth about
Yeah,
that
yeah.
whole situation, but what we were told has been proven
Yeah.
has been proven to be a lie, right?
Yeah.
So I think like I told this story. I don't know if I told it on the podcast or not, but I have one of my coworkers. He's like, he's born in March 2001, like,
Mm.
right before it happened, basically. So he was basically brought up in post 9/11 America. And he's
Hmm.
probably like one of my smartest, most intelligent coworkers.
Mm.
But he doesn't, but when I brought up like, what do you think about 9/11? It's pretty much, I asked actually the way I asked it was like, what were y'all taught about 9/11 in school? And it's pretty much like the bullshit story we were told. And it's
Yeah.
like, that's been disproven, bro. Like, but
Uh-huh.
it's just there's this ignorance, and I don't mean that in a derogatory manner. It's like it's just true ignorance because they've never even been exposed
Hmm.
to information that could have them look at it differently. It's like
Hmm.
schooling has gotten even more brainwashing than it was when we were.
Yeah.
It's all
Yes.
the Department of Education from the time of its inception was a brainwashing program, but
Uh-huh.
post 9/11 that got amped
Yeah.
up. It got ratcheted up, now it's like it's hard to like I said, he's a very intelligent young man, but he wasn't 12 or even 10 or 8 or 7.
Yeah.
Like he has no memory of that. So I
Uh-huh.
guess they've been able to get their story straight, in the textbooks
Yeah.
and this sort of thing to make people like us sound crazy to our
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
do you
some things with my kids, like I feel like they're just they're fine with. They accept more logical things and don't follow the narrative, I guess. But yeah, a
were
lot of
they
things they
what
probably
was
just
their
think I'm
take on
crazy.
COVID?
What's that?
What was their take on COVID? I'm guessing they didn't get
Um,
vaccines if you were
well, so
influencing them.
I it's hard to remember.
They didn't get the
So
COVID
my kids are
vax.
homeschooled. So what's that?
They didn't get the COVID vax. Not with you as their
Oh,
mom.
no, no, no.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, my kids are homeschooled, so like, it was probably a different experience for them because their lives really didn't change at all. It really wasn't. The only thing that was really different was at Walmart, everyone was wearing masks. Um, but me and my husband, we were pretty much like, oh, that's a scam. You don't need to be afraid. It's ridiculous, blah, blah, blah. I think that they just probably accepted it. Um, and uh and didn't really care that much. But it's really hard to remember, really.
That's wild.
Yeah. Yeah, but I was thinking this if the whole 9/11 thing, if that would come out that was fake, I feel like that would be pretty eye-opening for the public. Like when we were talking about the Epstein stuff and all of that, like I feel like 9/11 is another one that if they could if enough people figured out that it's fake, then
Okay, but what do you mean by fake? Because
that
I'm
would
not
be
sure if I
well,
agree.
okay. Just not the narrative that we're told.
Right,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what really happened, but it's definitely not what they tell us. Just the same as
right,
everything else, it's just not what they tell us,
right.
you know?
Yeah, that much is obvious.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know I've heard HB talk about like there were no victims taken to the hospital. There was like
Mm.
possibly nobody even in those buildings when they fell. I mean, I think that's totally possible. I'm not gonna,
Yeah, I
I'm
find
not,
that very believable too.
I find
Hmm
that very believable too, but the building still came down.
Yeah, and I'm sure people were hurt, killed, injured, whatever. I'm sure, there was collateral damage, maybe, but also they say that it was, it was like they were doing what was it they said they were doing? Some kind of
Renovation work,
they were I was thinking it was I forget what it's called. The word is the word is escaping me, but yeah, I mean, I thought that it was kind of like sectioned off and nobody could even go close to it anyway that day. Like I've heard that too. So,
yeah,
but it's hard to
yeah.
know. And it was a long time ago now.
But what we do know is that 19 Muslim hijackers, like the whole story we were told is just completely fucking fabricated.
Yeah, yeah, the passport that
Yeah,
survived.
the passport that survived, but they couldn't identify the human beings because they were burnt up in the
Yeah.
jet fuel. But the passport
Yeah.
survived.
Oh, all the jet fuel. But this passport right here.
Yeah, no,
So this
it's
is this is the guy that did it. He left us his passport so we could find him.
right. 2 blocks away. But the passport,
Oh, 2 blocks
the
away.
passport
Oh,
just 2 blocks away. Yeah,
yeah, huh. Wow, I found this passport.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a yeah. I mean, something went down that day, but who knows what it was.
What do you think are the most important outside of 9/11 and COVID, obviously? Outside of 9/11 and COVID, what do you think are the most important lies that we've been told?
Oh my gosh. The most important lies. Oh my God. I don't know. Health is pretty important. How we're supposed to eat 3 meals a day um and
The food pyramid. That's quite
pharmaceuticals
the
and that whole
lie.
thing. That's pretty huge to me. Um, what other lies? I mean, gosh, there's just, I mean, what aren't we lied to about, history, um, just uh
What do you think?
everything.
I agree. I agree with you. Which, and I'm not necessarily dialing it into a specific event like COVID or 9/11. It could just be more pervasive lies like the food pyramid or vaccines or
Hmm
whatever.
hmm
Uh,
Oh yeah, vaccines.
which 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 of these lies, if it was proven to be a lie, would be the most effective at waking up people who aren't already challenging their beliefs, so to speak?
Oh wow. Which would be most effective? If I mean if people found out that that cancer, like, that whole
Mm,
thing is, they're just poisoning people and they
mhm,
they had the cure all along, or it didn't
mm,
have to be this way or whatever. Like if that came out, I feel like that would be pretty big. Oh, my uncle didn't have to die or didn't have to go through his chemo and radiation and be
mhm,
tortured at the end of his life because, they wanted to make money off of his repeat business until he died or whatever.
mhm.
I feel like that would be a pretty big one. Um,
Yeah.
Gosh.
No, that is a big one.
Yeah.
There's a lot of big ones, as you were saying. There's so much. I mean, like you said, what haven't we been lied to about?
Yeah.
And for me, maybe it's just because I've been on this wave recently. But to me, like one of the biggest ones is United States citizen. Like,
Oh, like the birth
like,
certificate and the capital letters and
right,
all of
exactly.
that
I
stuff.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Because what is a birth certificate? It's a document that displays ownership.
Hmm.
So a birth
Hmm.
certificate is just saying that this business entity was created. If you look on your birth certificate, the date of registrar is always a week or two or like even more after your actual birth date because the date of registrar is the date that your business was born. That's the date
Oh,
it was
wow.
registered with the county clerk.
Uh-huh. Hmm.
It's two totally different entities. This is, to me, this is the biggest lie. The biggest lie is that you are not the name on your social security card. You're not the name on your driver's license. You're
Mm.
not the name on your birth certificate. That is a business that has the same name as you,
Mm.
the woman or the natural being.
Yeah, I mean, if that came out, yeah, I guess if people were able to understand it, then
Yeah, that's
that
the
would be a big
because
thing.
the information's already there. It's just people don't understand the impact of,
It's a big concept. Um,
right.
uh, what was it Nasara, Jasara, that stuff? Was that the stuff where they said that everybody would get their money from their birth certificates? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I've heard that.
It was
I've heard
one of
that.
those
I
like
haven't heard of
conspiracy
anybody.
theories that went around.
I
And
haven't
they
heard of
said everybody
anybody
was
actually
owed a
getting
bunch of
it.
money.
Yeah,
If
that's
if
actually real. There's actually truth to it, but getting them to getting the courts to sign off on the facts that have to connect in order for them to say so, it's just not. We haven't gotten there yet. I think there's going to be smaller steps that build up to that. But yeah,
Yeah.
there's an act of 1666. It's called the Cestui Que Vie Act. It's an English law, but the whole idea was an estate would be created for you at birth, and then
Mhm.
at between ages 18 and 25, you could come and claim your securities based on that estate that was created for you. But at the time, there were a lot of, in the 1600s, there was people going colonizing, going off to war or whatever. So if they didn't claim their estate between 18 and 25, then the state would just take it over and they would be deemed lost at sea. So this is where
Mhm.
like maritime law
The
comes into
maritime law,
play.
yeah.
And I'm not an expert on any of this stuff, but I have been. That's been my thing over really since the beginning of May. So you're talking like 1, 2, 3. I'm on like 4 months of this now, where I'm spending at least an hour a day reading or watching a YouTube video
Wow.
about this type of
Wow, that's
information.
committed. Jeez.
Yeah. No,
Huh.
I'm pretty deep into it right now
You're
for
into
sure.
it.
Um, and yeah, I mean, I guess what I'm getting at is the law is actually on our side. The actual law is actually on our side, but they've got
But
what's
they've
called,
twisted it.
well, it's not even twisted it. They've basically put on an entire facade under the Commerce Clause. So everything that your all caps name does is considered commercial activity. And so as long as you're identifying as that business, then they can treat you under commercial law, which is
Mhm.
codes, regulations, and statutes. The only actual law is the Constitution. That's the only real law is the Constitution. Everything else, statutes,
Mm.
codes, regulations.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I feel like if the whole thing came out and everybody got their money, then they would believe it for sure. If they got their $1 million or whatever, and oh, you got this
So,
money because you got screwed over by the government,
so
like then they would believe it.
yeah, but what you're getting at, so the one person that I've heard speak coherently about the Sesta KV trust and like the estate that you're supposedly insured for $1 million, what you're talking about, I think it is possible to access it, but it's only accessible as credit.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I do think that there are people that have accessed it and they are under some serious non-disclosure agreements to not talk about it. But even those people, it wasn't like they were cut $1 million check. It was like, now you have access to your credit sort of thing. You know what I mean?
Huh. Uh-huh. Hmm.
Because it's all a credit system. There is no real money. I mean, the Constitution
Yeah,
says the only lawful money is gold and silver coins. Well, we
I
don't operate in
know.
that system, so we're clearly not operating in a lawful system. We're operating in a facade, uh,
Yeah. I know
uniform
our whole
commercial code.
economy, it's just like just floating. Just print more
Hmm
money. Yep.
No, that's literally it. I mean, they and when you sign a loan, what they call a loan application, it's really a negotiable instrument. They're taking that. Your signature is what's creating the money. They take that application to the Federal Reserve and they say, here, Federal Reserve, they just applied for $50,000. The Federal Reserve gives them $50,000. That's already paid for. You don't have to be paying your bills really, which I'm not advising people to not pay their bills. Study this stuff before you start getting into this.
Mm,
But your bills are already paid for. The coupon at the bottom of the statement, that's a credit. All you're supposed to be doing is signing that payable to accepted, payable to bearer.
hmm.
Send it right back to them. Zero discharges the account. Now you're not getting money, right? You're not even getting
Yeah.
negotiable instrument. You're not even getting Federal Reserve notes like you're talking about, but you're getting the credit. You don't have to actually pay the bill. You're just performing on the bill by knowing how to endorse it properly. If you just endorse it with your name, then you're saying, hey, here's a blank check. Take your donation. You know, it's like the more I learn about it, the more it just, I'm definitely going to start putting in some motions into the court just to see what happens, you know? Hey,
Are
well,
you?
yeah, I mean,
Wow.
hey,
You're gonna file them by yourself?
yeah, pro se, yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Attorneys at law, the whole bar card association, that's another rabbit hole right there. Did you know the bar card association is literally the only entity that we know of that Brandon Joe Williams, who is like a super expert on all of this stuff, and that, there's other people that have some disagreements with him, but for the most part, there's a lot of agreements on a lot of this stuff. Um, Damn, what was I about to say? Um,
The Bar
The Bar
Association?
Association, they're the only entity that is domiciled in Washington, D.C. Everything else is resident of Washington,
Domicile.
D.C.
A res
So yeah,
domicile a residence?
yeah. So resident is a word is another one of these tricky words like person. If you admit that if you
Hmm.
admit that you're a resident is a 14th Amendment U.S. citizen. So that's another way they can trick you into falling under their jurisdiction. It's all about tricking you into being under their
Yeah.
jurisdiction. But if you know this stuff, you can say, I'm not in your jurisdiction. I'm the agent on behalf of that principal. That principal is in your jurisdiction, but guess what? That's a dead fictitious entity. I'm the
Hmm.
agent. You want to speak to me, you can speak to me, but I have liability, limited liability because I'm just an agent. I'm not that dead entity, you know?
Hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot to it. There's a lot to it for sure. But I definitely recommend anybody who's interested in this to check out Brandon. He has a free course. It's called the Contract Killer course. He's hilarious. He's
A
actually a
free
hilarious.
course.
Yeah,
That's nice.
he's a hilarious person in my opinion. He has a quite a sense of humor. Uh, and some people might it might rub some people the wrong way, but if you're not going to take anything personally and you're actually interested in learning this stuff, it's just funny to me. But yeah, I mean, even his website is called onestupidfuck.com. He's like,
Yeah,
he's like, what are
I
you?
think I've heard you mention that before.
Yeah,
That does sound familiar.
because he's like, what are they gonna say about me if I'm already calling myself one stupid fuck? They're gonna have a hard time insulting me. You
All
know.
right.
Um, but yeah, I mean, he's already sued Amex. He's lost a couple of cases, but he's we're making progress in terms of how to actually
He
win
sued
these cases.
Amex?
hmm Yeah,
Uh,
because they
and
wouldn't accept his performance. They didn't accept his endorsement, um, which by United States code they have to. Um,
really? And he
so
won, huh?
no, he didn't win, but
Oh, he didn't. Oh,
but
well,
I
he
mean,
tried.
well, he never did. He's not going to pay the bill. I mean, at the end of
There's
the day,
still maybe an appeal or something.
oh, there's and it, no, he is appealing, so that is in appeals. Yeah, and there are people that are winning, and a lot. So what's funny is they don't really, if they know that you've got a case that's going to win, they're going to do their everything to settle. Because what they don't want is case law. The law is already on our side, but
Mm,
once you get case law setting precedent,
yeah.
that's a whole
Then
different thing.
other
So
people go off of it.
if they can just settle out of
Yeah.
court, then it doesn't
Yeah.
become
Then they don't
case
have to
law.
worry about it.
And there's plenty of people that win with settlements. Well, if you want to call
Huh.
it win,
That's
if you
very
want to call that
interesting.
winning, right? But Brandon, he's a little bit more of what they call a purist in this space, where he's like, I want to change the country. This isn't about me like
Oh,
getting a settlement. Like I'm gonna
good for
change the
him.
monetary system. Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, which is certainly admirable in my opinion. Um,
Yeah, for sure.
for me, I just want to win a couple and just to go to my friends and be like, I won bullshit.
What do you plan? What are you
My
going
first one
to
is
file
mortgage.
about?
The first one is on
Mortgage?
mortgage. Yeah. I mean, all of these contracts, it all comes down to contract law. And they
Hmm.
are not disclosing the fact that we have options when it comes to our endorsement. We don't have to just endorse our name. We could put without recourse, we can put pay to the order up. We can tell them what to do with that instrument in our endorsement. One of the best endorsements is without recourse or all rights reserved. Basically means that you have liability. They can't come back on you for anything because it's without recourse. You're signing it without recourse, quite literally. If you think
Instead
about,
of instead of your signature, you just
yeah,
put without recourse,
without recourse, without
and
prejudice, all rights
that's all you
reserved.
need?
Hmm.
Really? Huh.
Hmm. Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, most companies are going to say, no, we don't accept this type of payments. And then you got to take them to court. And litigation is definitely the biggest
Oh.
key to being able
Uh-huh.
to win it or to settle or get discharged or get remedy and a lot of this stuff. But yeah, there's different arguments as far as like there's a guy named Mansa Mahatma. I've been following some of his videos. There's people have different approaches to this, and it's still so new that there isn't like a template for it. Yeah, it really is a situation by situation and contract by contract issue. But contract law, trust law, they've been around for hundreds and thousands of years. They're not going to change, but so much. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, that's quite the rabbit hole to go down is this whole US citizen and negotiable instruments. Negotiable instruments is a huge one because everything, a Federal Reserve note, when you start looking at the definition of a note, draft, check, like these are negotiable instruments. It all falls under negotiable instruments. And when you look at the UCC 3, UC Uniform Commercial Code Chapter 3, negotiable instruments. In like the very first blurb, it says this section of the Uniform Commercial Code. You know what? I want to read it word for word.
Mhm.
CC3 negotiable
Have you
instruments.
considered going to law school?
No, so bar cards are they are agents of the system.
Oh,
Uh,
you wouldn't. Okay, you don't
you
want to
want to
participate.
you want to be
It's
an
just if you're so into it,
well, you
like,
can be an attorney in fact. People don't realize that all an attorney is literally a power of attorney. I could sign a power of attorney and make you my attorney right now. You don't have a bar card, but if I that's literally all
oh,
it
that's an
is.
interesting
That's
point.
why it's
Okay.
called a power of attorney. That's literally all
Yeah,
it
huh.
is. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Subject matter. Here we go. UCC 3-102, subject matter. This article applies to negotiable instruments. It does not apply to money. Negotiable instruments are not money.
Really? And where does it say that?
UCC, Uniform Commercial Code, Section
Oh, in the
3-102.
unif. Oh, hmm. Well, there it says it right there. Huh.
Yeah. It gets real deep. I would definitely advise. I mean, if you're interested, but anybody who's interested listening to this right now, if you're interested, Brandon's website, onestupidfuck.com. He's got a free course on there called the Contract Killer Course. Talks about nationality. Oh, this is a huge one. Naturalization. This is I always thought naturalization was like this process that people had to go through, um, and then they're a US citizen at the end of this course that they have to take or whatever sort of civil thing that they have to go through. That's also bullshit. There is let me here we go. Naturalization laws. Okay, here we go. 8 USC. So this is United States Code, section 1101A23. This section defines naturalization as the conferring of nationality of a state upon a person after birth by any means whatsoever.
Any means.
I'm a
Hmm.
US citizen. That's it. I'm a US citizen. I literally just said it. That's any
Any
means.
means. So general.
Yeah. Isn't that
Huh.
wild? In the
It's
UN,
funny what you find when you look at books.
yeah, I know. And what is that? What's that
Hmm.
saying? If you want to hide something from them, put it in a book.
A plain sight. Oh, put it in a book. You're funny. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's good.
yeah, yeah. And then just in like conjunction with that naturalization thing, the UN, I don't want to look this one up, but there is a section in like the UN code of whatever, some sort of official UN document that basically says every person is entitled to a nationality. So if every person's
Hmm.
entitled to a nationality, and naturalization means you can choose your nationality by any means whatsoever, um, I'm French.
Ah, all
Yeah, I mean,
right.
so like you can move flexibly through this legal system when you know certain things.
Hmm.
But yeah, went on a little bit of a law tangent. Like I said, it's kind of been my passion lately.
I was gonna
But
say, yeah, it's your passion. 4 months, an hour a day.
at least
That's
that's
dedication.
oh yeah,
That's
at
probably more
least
than that.
I've been reading a lot on it, and I mean, I don't. Mansa talks about people like me, and he calls us information. Basically, people that are just looking to like get all the information on it, but they're actually not taking any action. And I think like he's kind of right. Like litigation is really the only way to actually, because there's very few examples I've heard where the company just accepts the endorsement and doesn't even try to
Hmm.
get you to pay in Federal Reserve notes, right? It does happen. I heard a lady talking on one of the ones that I was watching, and she signed her negotiable instrument for her son's private school, accepted pay to the order of bearer. See, that's a key one too. I think Brandon lost one of his cases because he did like pay to the order of himself in did like without recourse and then signed his name. Well, that actually reduces the so a negotiable instrument is defined as an unconditional order to pay or an unconditional promise to pay. Now, when you put a condition on it, it's not now no longer a negotiable instrument because it's conditional. So you want to do pay to the order of bearer. That way it's still negotiable because they could, once they receive it, they could give it to somebody else. That means it's still negotiable, unconditional, promise to pay or order to pay. Um, and yeah, she signed it, accepted. So she was accepting the credit basically and then transferring it, performing, which is really what we're supposed to do according to the UCC. I mean, you're not supposed to pay it to yourself. That's true. Pay to the order of bearer. That way, it stays an unconditional negotiable instrument, an unconditional order to pay, or an unconditional promise to pay. Tender it back to them. The legal word would be tender. You offer it back to them. They accept when they receive it. There's even terms of acceptance in the UCC. The only reason they can deny your performance by law or by code regulation uh, is it if it's late. Most of it has to deal with dates and times. So if you don't perform on time, basically, but they're not allowed to reject your tendered performance by law.
Huh.
Yeah, it's
All right.
pretty interesting stuff for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
Um,
we're screwed in so many ways, you know. It's nice that people can figure it out and try to get out of it.
yeah, I think I think it's a big key to this whole truth movement awakening. I mean, like I said at the beginning, I already love myself, like the philosophy part, the spirituality part, the, question everything's fake part, right? The questioning my belief system, all of that, like I kind of like was already solid, but like this law stuff I had kind of always avoided it, like I was taught like most people, if you sue all the time, like you're a bad, nobody should be making money that way. Like suing's bad, you know what I mean? And like avoid courts, you know what I'm saying? You don't want that kind of hassle in your life, that sort of thing. But it's like
Hmm.
you kind of have to have a mindset shift of like the courts are where like law is interpreted but it's also like case law comes out. It's where real changes happen is in the courts. If you want to
Hmm.
really change the world in today's world, the way it is set up, like that's probably the most
That's where to
efficient way to go
start. Yeah,
about it.
that's yeah. Mhm.
Uh,
Good point.
but yeah, I don't want to keep you too much longer. We're almost at 2 hours, but I just want to get from you like what would you want to leave the people with?
What would I want to leave the people with? Be excellent to everyone.
Good one.
Just you know, I don't know. Uh just you have to live in the now and ignore the outside world and enjoy every moment and um go with what feels right and just realize that there's more than just on the surface of society, how
Mm.
everything is, and everything is kind of backwards, and I don't know.
Don't be afraid to,
That makes sense. Don't be afraid, for sure. Yeah, don't live in fear.
for sure, for sure. Um, yeah, I appreciated this conversation. Anything else
Oh,
you
me
got?
too. What was the last thing you said?
Anything else you got for the
Oh, anything.
listeners,
Oh,
for the people, for the internet?
well, I had a funny story. Um,
Let's hear it.
w yesterday, I think it was, or maybe it was 2 days ago. About HV. So she takes photographs, and she got some pictures that she took into a Dallas museum, um, or an art gallery, I guess. She got some pictures in an art gallery the other day,
Hmm.
and she posted on Instagram. I don't know if you saw. But anyways, I said to her, congratulations about that art gallery stuff. That's so cool. Just I said that to her. The next day, my husband was watching King of the Hill, and it was I don't know if you watched King of the Hill, but it was the episode where Peggy, um, she becomes an artist and she gets her art into a Dallas art gallery. And I thought that was so crazy, and I
Mm.
messaged HV and I was like, this is weird, my husband was just watching the episode of King of the Hill where Peggy gets her art in a Dallas art gallery. And I didn't even put together like Peggy is like Pegasus, like HV is super into Pegasus,
Hmm.
and she always is calling Pegasus Peggy. And she's like, "Oh my gosh, Peggy." And I was like, I couldn't even believe that I didn't put that together, but it was a really weird sync. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know, it was weird for me.
synchronicities are real.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. And it's like when you experience them with someone else, like I don't know, it's just like the best, I think.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. Yeah, I feel like I haven't had like I was having them a lot up at like maybe a month ago, and I haven't had any in a few weeks now. It's crazy. They
Oh.
kind of come in spurts sometimes.
Mm.
Do you feel that way?
I feel like I have syncs like all the time, every day, probably, just all the time. I see
Damn.
numbers like all the time, you
So
know.
so kind of like me with my future and past selves. So all the
Yeah,
time.
maybe, yeah.
Yeah, because I definitely as far as like that like um gutter like just that true instinctual like this is a synchronicity, you know what I mean? Like when it's obviously a synchronicity. I mean, I guess if I was to look for them, yeah, synchronicities are kind of happening all the time, but the ones that are real, like visceral was the word I was looking for. Like
Mm. Yeah.
I haven't
Yeah,
had
some are
any
bigger
like
than
that.
others, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I had like five or six like in the month of July. It was just like it seemed like it was happening a lot and then kind of not now, which makes me feel like maybe I'm out of tune a little bit because I feel like synchronicities are
Mm.
like a wink from the universe, like you're in tune right now, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
So yeah, maybe I need to get more in tune again because July was crazy. July it was like two, 3 times a week. I'd be like, what the fuck's this? I just said something about this, or we were
Uh-huh.
just doing something that had something to do with this, or I just talked to my friend James about this, and now,
It's everything. It's
yeah,
like everything's connected.
yeah, without a doubt, without a doubt,
Yeah.
yeah. Next time I get you on, I want to talk about fascia because that's a topic that we could probably spend a whole episode on.
Fascia.
Yeah,
Well, that's something I don't really know anything about.
if you're a health person, you gotta learn. Got just
Okay.
yeah. When we hop off this call, just YouTube. What is fascia? Fascia.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that'll take you
Okay.
down its own rabbit hole right there. And if you're into health, you're I don't have to tell you anything more. You're
I do
already gonna
enjoy
be
a
into
good
it.
rabbit hole every now and then.
Yeah, the fascia is literally the system of our body that connects every system to every other system.
Oh, okay.
Like it is the holistic
Hmm.
aspect of our body.
Hmm.
It's kind of like this sticky plasma type thing. It's
Oh,
a
okay.
yeah. Just get into it. Just get into it. You're gonna love that topic for sure.
All right.
Well,
I
I'm
will
gonna
do
let you
that.
go, Lindsay. Definitely
Okay.
have fun checking out the fascia.
I will.
Um, that's I think that could be another like that's something that I feel like HV should check out too. Ah man, even me just saying the word is kind of like a synchronicity right now. I'm starting to think about like that's a topic that really needs to come into truth. Like people like us, we need that's a topic. I need to look more into it. But yeah, it's have you ever I guess if you haven't heard of fascia, there's a Instagram account. I think it's called Human Garage. There are like you know, I don't know the right word for it. It's its own modality, kind of like massage therapy or what, whatever else. And there's people that are learning or that are teaching and learning and teaching, but they're like they know how to get people to like release fascial adhesions, like places where the fascia gets real tight and kind of like locks can kind of like lock you up in some ways.
Hmm.
And then he knows how to do what's called fascial releases. And yeah, it's a human health um it's a factor in our health that basically goes not talked about, but it's kind of one of those weird
Yeah.
things, right? Where it's like science knows about it. It's kind of like RH negative, where it's like science knows about it.
Uh-huh.
It's not that it's totally hidden, it's just not talked about.
Yeah. Huh. That's wild. Well, I'm excited to learn about it.
Hell yeah. Thanks again for your time, Lindsay. It was awesome. And
Well, thank you. Yes, this was so fun. It was so good to talk to you.
I appreciate you so
Um,
much.
yes, me too. Sending you so much love.
Yep.
And
Right
I
back
hope
to
you have a
you.
good night.
Much
And
love
I
and
will talk to
sh
you soon.
share my podcast when you can, because
Oh, for sure.
people can search for it and still not find it with my little shadow band that we got going on.
Yes. Yes.
All right,
It's
Lindsay.
true.
Peace and love.
Okay, bye.
I see the signs and I'm moving about as quickly as I can now. Used to wake up at dawn, check my Nikes for roaches, wipe the coat up out my eye, light up tree to fight the notion I was far from getting on. Now it's looking like I'm chosen, huh? Grinding so hard, you think I'm trying bust a Trojan, but I know, yeah, I know it's approaching like I copied and pasted from prophets and sages how to penetrate hearts. So what I jot on the page, I might reposition stars in the thoughts. In the space you get conviction mixed with art. When I hop on the stage and believe we need healing, plenty beats need killing. So my pen bleeds, feeling it's deeper, they ain't spilling. Yeah, every time I speak, reveal it, I think brilliant. And I'ma reach a million of souls with these lines so precisely designed that it might seem divine. On the road to perdition, the blind lead the blindness on the screen and in the sky. Everywhere I see the sign, let go. I see the signs and I'm moving. I see the signs and I'm moving. I see the signs and I'm moving about as quickly as I can now.